What up, everybody? It's your main band news, Mr. 1985 Uptown's finest. Welcome to another episode of Disciples of the Boom Bap. We have a very special guest in the building, Mr. Stacey Mcgee. Bass extraordinaire. You know what I'm saying? That's my man. We got him on the show tonight. Go ahead, Harris. Take it away, baby.
What up, everybody? It's your man Harris, second half of Disciples of the Boom Bap. Welcome back to another episode. We're here. Another Tuesday night. Special guest in the building. Extraordinary guest. Got to work with a lot of different people. And we're excited to have him on, Stacey Mcgee. But before we do that, we just want to touch on a few projects that came out so far this month. That needs to be recognized. Boom. What do you think about that news? How was you feeling this?
I listened to it one time and I'm cool on it. One time is all I needed with this joint, cuz. Now I did like the fact that they remixed the beat with the him and Jay joint.
Yeah, they made it clear, much clearer.
Yeah, they made it clear. It was cool, but I was cool on this one time and I'm done. I'm good.
One time.
How'd you like it? How'd you like it?
A lot of songs. I do like the Nas song. I thought the Method Man feature, it gave me like Takao album, like the first album. Okay. I thought that song was really good. But aside from that, I probably won't listen to it anymore. I wasn't that excited, but I thought they did a pretty good job with what they had. It definitely was dated because some of the words he was saying, I was like, oh, you can't say that word. Oh, you said that a lot. But salute to Big L. Yes. Then we had Mr. West Side Gun, Boom 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 Boom, Hills Have Eyes, number 3. Pretty sure you know.
I didn't listen to that at all.
Yeah, West Side Gun's back. Stove Got Cooks, Benny the Butcher on the album. Not too bad. About 11 tracks. Easy listen. Then we had Lloyd Banks came out over Halloween. Definitely didn't check this out though.
No, I
didn't even know it dropped, but it did come out. We got Goldfish with Hit Boy and Alchemist.
A very dope project. I am very satisfied with this project, guys. Very dope. Surprised the shit out of me. Surprised me, yeah.
Interesting album cover. A goldfish with a guy with, he looked like he's laying in the back of the trunk. It's not like rope or spaghetti. It's a person.
Yeah,
it's a person laying in the picture. Yeah, 2 producers got together. They both rap. Not bad project. Not mad at it. And I think last but not least, boom. Another class. This is a classic project right here. This was the dope. This got to be one of the dopest projects of this year. Yeah, I'm not mad at this at all. It jumped up there. Like for me, Clips, Mobb Deep, this. Some may say Freddie Gibbs, but yeah, very, very good Ransom album. Beats is on point. Premier's in his bag. Ransom sounds tight, easy. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, short and sweet. 7 songs. Yeah, right to the point. Right to the point. 10 out of 10 for me. I was afraid to give it that, but I was like, should I? Is it that? If it was 5 marks, could I give it the 5? I give it the 5. I give it the 5. Yeah, I give it the 5. Shout out to Ransom. What up? I would give it the 5. All right, you got it, News. Go for it. Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see a pastime Harry is about to be. We got Stacey Mcgee in the building, bass extraordinaire, who plays for many people, Hey, listen, me and this gentleman go back like 4 flats or the Cadillac. I've known this man since 1991. Take it back to the Princess Lounge days. I don't know if you know about Princess Lounge, but if you know about Princess Lounge, I ain't got to say no more. What's understood don't need to be said. You know what I'm saying? So, Mr. Stacey Mcgee, how are you tonight?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All is well. It's a pleasure to be here with you tonight. It's an honor. And
wow, man.
I'm just trying to keep up with you these days, man. Did you tell him did you mention that we were sneaking you in back those days? You was underage, we were sneaking you in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I was a little too young to get in the club, but once they see me rock, they was like, "Yo, you come back."
Once you rock it,
because they helped me hone my craft.
You was a little dude.
I was a young boy. It was really a staple. Hold on, y'all. I gotta turn this down.
Young news.
Young news.
Yeah. They
Nah,
was
that's good
really
stuff.
receptive to me, man. They took to me well. So they were
Yeah.
all my mentors, all of them. Cassie Smith, Stacey McGee, Darren
Mhm.
Doltree, Colt Younger, Fred Holiday, like just marvelous, stupendous, excellent,
Yeah.
talented musicians, man. All of y'all. The ET band. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all were just on another level. Y'all still on another level. So that's why I wanted to get you on the show to give you your flowers. You know what I'm saying? I know you a long time. You're a gentleman in the scholar, my man, and I appreciate you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come here and rock out, kick it out, you know what I'm saying, and to chop it up with us, man. I
Likewise.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
So I'm gonna get right to the point. I'm gonna get right started right now and ask you, how did you get started playing the bass?
Oh man, Jackson Five, man. When the Jackson Five had that band going on back when I was a kid, everybody wanted to be the Jackson
Right.
Five. So me
Mm-hmm.
and a few of my cousins, uh, we got together and called ourselves the Soul Cousins.
Mm.
And so you couldn't tell us
Mm-hmm.
we weren't gonna make it big. But I was the only one that stuck with with the music. Everybody broke off. One of the guys became a cousin became a truck driver. The other one works for the government, and everybody did their own separate things, and I stuck with it. So that was how it started.
Okay. Okay. So
That was the interest. That was where the interest uh, was sparked at that time.
okay.
Gotcha.
Now, were you
Yeah.
self-taught or did you go to school to do it? Were you
Well,
self-taught?
well, pretty much self-taught. My parents sent me to music school to learn organ and guitar, but
Mm.
I didn't have the
Okay.
dexterity for either one of those. So what I would do, yeah, there you go.
It's a lot.
So what I would do, I found myself um, when I would listen to the radio, I was drawn to the bass lines. Is what always caught my ear. So even though I had a six-string guitar and couldn't play that, I found myself playing the bass lines on the guitar,
Mm,
and that's when I knew
okay.
what the calling was.
Mm.
So I think by then
Okay.
I may have been in like seventh or eighth grade at that point.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. Damn,
When
you
did you
was
feel like
young.
you had
Damn.
like it down pat? From just learning like different techniques, or to like maybe like ear- uh learn your own technique, opposed to just kind of like playing what you hear when you start to like it start to click where you start making up your own bass lines.
Well, the technique came from the influences of different bass players over the years. Like they had household names, Louis Johnson, Larry Graham, Stanley Clark, people like that.
Mm.
And so when you're listening to all of these influences, it kind of shapes. You take a little bit from here, take a little bit from there. Before you know it, you're doing your own thing. But I've my niche was always just being able to listen to the song and emulate exactly what was being played on that record. And that's what people that were hiring musicians I found later on. Uh, um, that was the most important thing first. How the interpretation of what you're hearing, how well you can emulate what you're hearing, as opposed to hearing a whole bunch of things and not sticking to the basics. So,
Gotcha.
so I realized the importance of that as time went on.
Did you start playing in like church or anything like that after like the schooling from the that did you like to hone
Uh,
your skills or
well, although I went to church, they didn't really have musicians at the church at the time. So most of my uh, craft, the honing in on the craft, it came from just sitting home listening to the radio, learning those songs. Later on, I ventured off and played a little gospel, but it didn't come up. That really wasn't my roots. My roots were really R&B.
gotcha?
So even today, I play in church on Sundays, and I'm fluent with like maybe the lot of praise and worship song, but I'm not as fluent with that as I am. Like with R&B, somebody can call me for an R&B gig, and I can, if they have 100 songs, 9 out of 10, I know 99 of those songs. and
Do
that's
they
just from coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And
do
the
they
open mics helped out too. Go ahead. I'm
Mm.
sorry.
do they even know who you are when you playing at church? Do they know? Or they just think it's a regular old bass player? Do they know
Well, the musicians, they know my background. And, they may have mentioned it to the pastor, or pastor may know. I don't know, but I don't talk too much about about that.
Got you.
So that's when when news asked me to do this, I was like, oh man,
He's
I'm
all
a man of a few words. But yeah, so I don't really
yes.
talk about those things. I always believe it's not where you've been, it's where you're
Yeah,
at the time.
very much so.
Yeah. And that's why I asked. That's why I said to him, I appreciate him for taking his time out of this busy schedule, because Stacey don't do interviews and press with people. He don't.
This is rare. This is
So
rare.
when he
This may
said he
have
would
been
do this, I was I was ecstatic. I was ecstatic to get him on the show. I really was. You know what I'm
we
saying?
family,
Because he
man.
don't do
And
this.
anything for family. Anything for family.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you, bro. So how did you get from playing, learning the songs? How did you get introduced to the open mic night scene? Because that's where I met you at. So how did you get introduced to that?
Oh man, Colt Younger, the original ET band, Colt Younger, who else was it? Johnny Chrome and those guys, they were doing I don't know if you remember Bro and Max. You remember Bro and Max? I think that was before you started coming around.
Me, that was before me, before my time. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
before I started coming around.
they had a guy playing with them at that open mic. That was the first open mic that I was ever aware of. And but I would
Okay.
stop in there every now and then. And they had a guy playing, and I think they were having some issues with him. And so Colt asked
Okay.
me one day, said, "Hey, do you think you can play like a lot of these songs? I mean, how good is your ear? Do you think you can hear
Mhm.
play a lot of the stuff that they're doing? It's a lot of material." And I told him that I thought I could do it. He said, "All right, well, listen, I usually pick this guy up and bring him, it was Wednesday nights." He said, "But I'm gonna leave him home, and I'm gonna have you come
Mhm.
through and see how that works out." And it was just the rest was history at that point.
Wow.
So yeah, so they trusted me at that point to bring me in, and
Right.
like I said, I had been preparing for it all my life, listening to the radio, all of it, anything that came across the radio. I pretty much, if I never sat down and played it, it's just like having a
Mhm.
conversation. If it's in my head,
Right.
I can recall it and just transfer it to the fingerboard. And so
Yeah.
that's how that got started.
Which Jackson
So
5 song was it? Oh, my bad, News. Go for it.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Which
You good?
Jackson 5 song was it when you got intrigued? Like that was like, oh, I'm feeling this right now. Like when you were younger, when you guys started.
Well, it was actually the group, because I don't think I was we were more impressed with them as musicians. Back then my ear, uh I don't know if we were even listening for any particular songs. I had any favorite songs, but
Right.
that's a good question. I think I can remember the first song that I learned how to play,
Which
and I
was what
believe
was
that was I think that was a song called "Fire" by the Ohio Players.
Mm.
So I'm
fire.
not sure what.
Dum, dum, dum.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
was one of the first songs that I remember learning how to play.
Nice.
Now, was
Yeah,
it
but
hard for you to learn how to play that song?
no, everything those things came natural, because was nothing fancy about it. They were just nice
Mhm.
grooves.
Yeah.
So it
Okay.
was nothing hard and nothing fancy about it. So yeah, that stuff came natural, because like I said, I was sent to learn how to play guitar and organ, but I
Okay.
couldn't pick up on either one of those. So I just went with
Okay.
what came natural.
And learn by ear.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. How different is it to play a guitar as opposed to a keyboard? Are they like, what's the difference between playing the two? So you said you wasn't cohesive enough to play like the keys and all that stuff, but you caught on to play the strings. So what was the difference?
Good bass. Although you can play chords, multiple notes at a time on the bass, bass back then when I was coming up was mainly one low note at a time, doom, 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 whatever. The keyboards and the guitar, you're playing multiple notes at one time, so your fingers have to land. Uh, they have to land on multiple notes at one time, and that coordination is something I never had. I never had that. I mean, I could have probably worked on it, but I guess I just wasn't up for the challenge. It was easier for me to just hear doom, 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 and just follow that.
1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, boom, boom,
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Because I've seen Kenny Jackson play drums. I've seen Kenny Jackson play bass. I've seen him mess around on the keyboard a little. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Khalil play the keyboard. I've seen Khalil play the bass. I've seen Khalil play drums.
You talking about
Khalil just plays
Khalif?
everything. Khalil plays
Man,
every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying?
it don't get no better than that.
But
Yeah, it don't get no better than that.
yeah, shout out to Khalil. Shout out to Khalif, man. That's my man. But
Yeah.
I've seen you steadily for years master that bass. You do shit with that bass that's, I would say, impossible. I've seen you take one key with one hand with a drink in your hand and play the whole note all the way down with a drink in your hand. Like, how do you do that?
A drink of water, that is. But go ahead.
Yeah, drink of water. How do you do that? Yeah.
Well, of course, if I do that, I'm multitasking at the time, but I have enough strength in my left hand. Because normally you'll play you'll uh, you'll lay your finger on the note with your left hand and attack it with your right hand, to bring the sound out. But I have enough strength in my fingers now where I can just tap on the note and hold it without any assistance with the right hand. But that's not something I can do for a whole song without cramping my wrists up. But yeah. I mean, it can be done. It can be done.
Oh, I know it can because I see you do it all the time. I just be looking at you like, yo, he's playing the bass with one hand. Like, what the hell? Like, I've always been mesmerized by that. But that's pretty dope.
Well, I show off when you come around. That's the only time I do it, man.
Come on, man. Stacey, come on, man.
So with the different types of bass, like I do see like 3 different guitars behind you, or bass guitars.
Mm-hmm.
Like what does each one give you, and like when would you pick up one over the other, or does it give you like a certain sound or tonality to it?
Different tonalities. One of them is I just got, it's a fretless bass, which is more like jazz players use it. Haven't really used that yet, but I always wanted to have one in the arsenal.
Is that doesn't
like
have like the little lines on the, so it don't go right? It don't do that? Is that
no line? Yeah, no lines on it. The notes just slide. They just slide. You can slide right into the notes. It's seamless.
Gosh.
Okay.
The other bass, I have a couple. Right now, I think I have maybe seven now. I don't have, some. I know guys that have 30 and 40 instruments. But I find that once I get comfortable with one, I may play that for a month or two before I put it down and then grab another one. And I may play that for a month or two because they have different feels to them. And once you get used to it, like one of the strings may be a little higher than the other one, so you may have to dig in a little more for it. But once you do it for a week, you don't notice it anymore because become you adapt to it. But so I have
No, go ahead.
I think
Go ahead, listen.
so I have, like I was telling you, I had influences early on. One Larry Graham was one of my favorites now. His name is Marcus Miller.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he has a great tone. Now he has his own signature instruments out, and I think they sound amazing. So I have a couple of those, and what I did was I changed the electronics to get to alter the sound, so they're the same instrument, but they sound slightly different because of the electronics. And so and then I have Lewis Johnson. I don't know if y'all remember the Brothers Johnson, but Lewis Johnson.
Yeah.
Strawberry Letter, right? 23.
Yeah. He had his signature bass was called the Music Man. So that's a different tone within itself. So I feel like when I have these instruments that were signature instruments for the guys that I idolize coming up, kind of puts me in that spirit of them when I'm playing. And so that's the reason for me. That's the reason why I have these different instruments, because they put me in the mind frame of the guys who influenced me coming up.
Yeah.
And I start listening to the songs that they played and sitting down and practicing with those songs, and reliving those moments again.
Nah, that's beautiful.
Okay.
Do
That's
you,
dope.
do
So
you
let me ask you a question, Stacey. Go hold on. Do you still got that bass that you played at Princess Lounge, that blue one?
Yes, I do. I do have that. Uh,
Wow.
I do have that.
Okay.
It's out. I think it's in the garage, but yeah, that bass was the one that I did like those first tours with Aaliyah. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
those were the people that I did the Master Johnny Croon call. Can you hear? Oh, okay, you got that. Okay,
You guys,
yeah, that
baby.
bass right
We
there. Yeah,
got
yeah, I see that. I still have that. I still have that bass. I'm not getting rid of that. I don't play it much
it. Okay.
think
over
that's
at
the one?
Wilson's, and they wanted me to. Yeah, that was the only bass I played for a long time.
Oh,
Like
yeah, I know.
from
That's why
like
I
the
asked you. You always
'90s,
said that.
like
Yeah.
the early '90s. I think I got that bass, and so
I remember that bass. It always
that,
stuck out in my head, and that's the bass I always seen you with. That's why I asked you about that bass, because I
mhm,
always seen you with that joint.
I, I still have it.
Yeah.
Next time you coming out, you let me know. I'll bring it so we can reminisce a little bit with it.
Okay. Say less. Say less. So let's talk about the people that you've played for, that you had the honor of playing for.
I want to
Mm.
hear. I want to hear this story.
Go ahead. How you get to play for Aaliyah?
Okay, Aaliyah was
Rosie O'Donnell
Johnny
show.
Croom, Johnny Croom, who I've learned, a whole lot from. Johnny
Okay.
Croom was Boys the Men's musical director, and we're going back now. About to really tell my age now. We're going back like 90. This was maybe 96, and Johnny and I had we were he had a studio, and we were partners, like producing songs and stuff. And
Mhm.
so things had got a little slow. And at that time, I hadn't, well, I was out of high school for a good maybe 10 years at that time.
Right.
But at that time, things were getting slow with the music. So I was, I went to get a job at a temp agency. That's when we had the pages. We didn't have the cell phones jumping off at the time. So
Right.
Johnny Croom he was blowing my pager up. But I was in there taking this little placement test. So
Right.
once I got out and was able to call him, I said, "Listen, I hope this is about some money because I'm about to get a job." So he said, "Hey man, I just got a call from somebody, and this was a great lesson. When you're talking to people, you can't you got to respect and be respectful.
Mhm.
You never know who you're talking to. You
Mhm.
never blow nobody off, anything like that. But so Johnny
Right.
said that somebody out with Boys and Men, he said he didn't remember who this person was, but they had tied him with Aaliyah, and she was looking for a new band, and they recommended him.
Mhm.
And he said, Stacey he said, so you my boy, so I'm taking you with me. So
Mhm. Wow.
we get back to the studio. Of course, that was good news for me because I was about to start punching that clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we get back to the studio, and by the time I got to the studio, he said, by the way, these people called back and said they manage Ginuwine as well. They want us to play for both of them on this tour.
Yeah.
So he said he told Aaliyah um, that she told him that her drummer and her bass player was sentimental. And Johnny Crooms told her that if you want me to do this right, I got to bring my own people. Now he didn't know if she was
Right.
gonna call him back or not. He didn't
Mm-hmm.
know. A couple
Right.
of days later, he waiting for the call. She called back. She said, "Listen, I understand you have to do what you have to do." And so we rehearsed for 2 weeks here in Philly
Mm-hmm.
before we even went out there to meet her. And we flew
Okay.
out to Burbank, California to rehearse out there with her. And she was
Mm-hmm.
very standoffish at first because she didn't know us. She didn't know whether we were going to be better than who she had. She did. I guess she didn't want to get too close. If there was a chance she was going to have to get rid of us, if we didn't work out.
Yeah.
So we get down there. We had 16-hour day rehearsals. It was 8 hours it was 8 hours with her, and then
Mm-hmm.
another 8 hours with Genuine on the same day.
Mm.
Uh,
Okay.
the rehearsals weren't going well at first, and Johnny would pull me to the side and say, "Hey, man, I don't know what's going on." He said, "We lose. It's like a battle here." He said, "We lost today," and he couldn't figure it out. After a few days,
Mm-hmm.
he said, "I know what it is." He said, "It's her dancers." He said, "We got to be on every hit and every break when those dancers make a move. We got to be on them." So once we figured that out, they came in, bam, was hitting everything. She was happy, and that's when the job was solidified.
Mm-hmm.
This is my battery going down. I had to plug my phone in real quick. Yeah, so that's when we had the job locked in, and all we had to do
Mm-hmm.
was get the Genuine, and he was getting a little upset because I think we were spending more time getting her show together than his.
That was
So
that for
we
the
had to,
was that for the
yeah.
Bachelor
So we,
album?
yeah, yeah,
So it was
yeah.
his
Hold
debut.
on one second. Grab my plug. I'm gonna plug this phone in real quick.
Go ahead,
Sorry
Stacey.
about
Take your
that. Hold
time,
on a
bro.
second. Hold
Take your
on.
time.
No, that's amazing. So yeah, the Bachelor
That's crazy.
album, that was his first introduction. I think that was 96 in November. And then
Mm-hmm.
this would have been the song at least she sang on Rosie O'Donnell. That was off of the second, the third album. Uh, I do believe, but she sang like a slow R&B song. That song they were singing.
But she only made what, 3 albums total?
Yeah,
3 albums.
she had
Yeah.
R. Kelly, the One in a Million,
Mm-hmm.
and then
And
the
that
last
joint,
one, the A,
the red
Aaliyah.
joint. I call it the red joint. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
I'm
the Ginuwine
almost
first
got it.
album. So you was playing they got some crazy bass lines on that Genuine first album. Ooh, baby.
That's the one with Pony on it, right? Is that the
Hmm.
one?
Yeah.
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 That album was
Yeah.
when that came out, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It was
Yeah. It
so
was
out the
different.
box. It was
It was
crazy.
definitely different.
Yeah, the
So what
crazy thing about that is, man, I'm watching videos and seeing them on TV, and I'm saying to myself, especially with Aaliyah, I said, I'll probably never meet this girl in my life. I will probably never meet her. And then next thing you know, within a year, I'm out there on the road with her.
bam.
Um,
That's crazy.
so yeah, so yeah, so once so Genuine was getting upset. He was talking about getting another band because we put so much time into her and didn't rehearse with him. So we took a day, and Johnny said, "Let's do a song. Let's get one of his songs out of the way." And so Pony was the first song that we made an arrangement for, and Genuine came in when we started. And Tank was singing background. I don't know if y'all knew, but Tank was singing background with us. He was in the band at
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
Genuine came in and he stood up in like a folding chair in the middle of the floor, like, let me see what they're gonna do. So we put an intro on Pony that was the intro was way over here somewhere. And it came right back into the song. When he came in and bam, we dropped that thing. He jumped out of that chair and jumped for joy. He said, "Okay, it's official now." So
Okay.
so so yeah, so that's how I got in with that, and I learned as years time went on that it's all about who you know because when that next year they did Genuine went overseas. He did a European tour, and Johnny Croom
Mm-hmm.
wasn't available to go. So they asked me to come on as Genuine's musical director.
Mm.
Oh
And
wow. Good
so
shit.
yeah, so for the next 5 years, whenever he went off and on, that was my role uh, um, in his little administration.
Are you
That's
still
what's up.
with him now as he's made a resurgence to go back touring? Or
No, no, you know, after a while, you know, they get different management and change management. A lot of
gotcha.
times, same thing there. That management may have some people that they know. It could be
They
some
want
guys, and yeah. So it's all in being in the right place at the right time, and all in who you know as well.
Yeah.
You know, so Genuine's friend, he was one of his good friends when I first started working with him. Jerry Vines. He ended up managing Genuine after a while. So when they did a tour with Genuine, Jagged Edge, and Avant,
mm,
and
I remember that.
each artist brought their own musical director in. So Jerry Vines was Genuine's manager at that time, and he was Genuine's friend when I was on the first tour with Genuine. So he
Hmm.
pulled me in on that. So I was Genuine's guy. Avant had his person, Jagged Edge. So we all played for all three of them. They took everybody, made an all-star band, and we played for all three of the artists at that time.
that's beautiful.
That's dope. So
Beautiful,
how was it
beautiful.
playing for Avant, and how was it playing for you said Avant, Genuine, and who else?
Jagged Edge.
And
Yeah.
Jagged Edge. How
Oh,
was it playing? How was it playing
they were
for Avant and
cool.
Jagged Edge?
Avant was so down to earth, man, that I told his, I think it was his brother. Oh no, one of his dancers who ended up on one of those reality shows. One of Atlanta housewives or some of his stuff. But I said, hey
Okay.
man, Avant is one of the most down to earth. Because at that time I told him I worked from everybody from boys to men to cool in the game. I said,
Hmm.
and this guy now he said, well, did you tell him that? So I ended up letting Avant know. I said, hey man, I appreciate you, his whole demeanor, everything was just really cool. He was really cool.
Right.
Jagged Edge, they were cool. Um, who else is with me? About yeah, Genuine. You know, we had already had a history at that point. So I
Yeah.
had been working with him
Yeah.
for at least 5 or 6 years before that happened. But yeah, they were some really good people.
Um,
You
you
also
also
played with Jaheim too, right?
Yeah, yeah, that was my man. Yep. Jaheim, I think, had a special love for me uh, because when I first started working with him, uh, I was brought in by a younger musician who lived in my neighborhood at the time, but I'd never met him. It was mutual friends say, hey, so and so, he lives around the corner. I said, no, I said, but I heard he was a great musician. So when I bumped into him, I said, hey, we never met. I said, I heard a lot about you. It sounds like you're the same as me. We live down here in the hood, but we not really, this is not where we hang out at. We on a whole nother scene. We were on that music scene at the time. So I said, if anything major would have come up, I was going to let him know and try to pull him in. But he had never heard any of Genuine songs at the time, but he was strictly church. So
got
I pulled him in, and at that point, he had never been on tour, and I think we had one of they had a shortage of tour buses. We had to wait like a few days for them to get another bus, so somebody was going to have to sleep out in the lobby on the bus.
Oh,
And
yeah.
now it did. So I chose to do that because I wanted him to get the full experience, of being
Okay.
on tour. So
Yeah.
because them guys were like, man, you crazy, man. I've been you sleeping out here, yeah. I've been there and done that. I'm gonna let this young man enjoy the full benefits of being out here on the road. So fast forward maybe 10 years, he gives me a call and said, hey man, some people that used to babysit me called me and said, Jaheim is looking for a band. He said, you took me out on, some years ago. He said, so I want to return the favor. So that's how I got in on the Jaheim situation.
beautiful, beautiful.
And that lasted about 10 years. The
Wow.
last 5 of those 10 years, I ended up being his musical director as well.
Wow.
So I was able to bring some young guys in from Philly. Khalif was one of them, and Stan Davis. You remember Stan Davis? News.
Yeah. That's
Well, you know
Stan is my
Stan.
man. Yeah.
Well, you know
Stan love me.
Stan is.
He loved me. Yeah.
Yeah, Stan is playing with Boys the Men now. He's about to do that tour with them with New Edition.
I'm not surprised. Stan
He's
is a
another.
talented
He's
musician. Talented.
phenomenal, phenomenal,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I had
Stacey.
him. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, for now you got keep going.
I was gonna say. So I had him and Khalif both out on that. So I was covered. So if something
Yeah.
would have happened to me out there, either one of them could have stepped up and played my parts. And
Mhm.
so and that
Absolutely.
was the whole thing. To try to have some guys that can multitask or that can cover more than one instrument. If something happened to one of them or one of them couldn't make it,
Yeah.
the other one could step right in and handle. But those guys are phenomenal.
Got you.
Yeah.
So, my god brother, he plays the guitar as well. But he moved out to LA and Nashville. His name Kurt Chambers. I don't know if you're familiar.
I know Kurt. I know Kurt
Yeah.
very well.
So Kurt moved out there. So while you were doing your gigs, did you move out to LA or out to Burbank while you were doing these, or you were kept flying back to Philly, or like?
No, no. Well. When we rehearsed out there for the 2 weeks, we just flew out there and stayed uh, for the duration of the rehearsals,
Okay,
and then the tour started. I think the first date was in Buffalo, New York, I think. And so they flew us back there, and that's where we met the tour bus. We got our tour bus, and then we went out and did, crisscross the country
got you.
from that point. And Kurt played with was in the band with Jaheim. The first round tour that I did with them, Kurt
Yeah,
was in on that. Yeah,
yeah. I grew up with
he's
Kurt,
he,
family, the whole nine. Yeah,
multi-talented. He's another one. Sings,
I
plays
was about to say
multiple
he's very
instruments.
sing,
talented, bro. He's
sing,
very
plays,
talented.
drums,
Yeah, he's dope.
keyboard,
Mhm.
lizard, everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
doing that
He
with
played for
Kurt
Eminem. He
along
was
with
playing for
Pop.
Eminem at one time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was playing for Eminem at one
hmm
time. Yeah.
yeah, man.
But you also played for Deborah Cox, and then I think you did you play on the Jasmine Sullivan project, or did you have a chance to you did live with her, or how'd that work out?
No, my nephew is her MD. You know, David Watson, news. He's playing guitar with us on Sunday. The guitar player with. Oh, you didn't come in on Sunday. You know the
His
guitar
son,
player.
right?
Yeah, his son.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He
yeah,
he he's uh he's Jasmine
yeah.
Sullivan's musical director. Um, so
Is he?
no, yeah, yeah. So and he
That's
sings too.
dope.
He's very talented too. He sings. Well, his brother sings too and plays guitar. Yeah. So and I mean all the Davis kids are talented. Daughter, everybody.
Talented. They,
Yeah,
yeah, they all
yeah.
talented. Yeah.
So with this no, what happened with the post you saw with me and the engineer?
Mhm.
He has a couple artists that he was working with. The guy that engineered Jasmine Sullivan's album.
Got you, got you.
Um, he had a couple artists he was working with, and I worked with them on that project.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so yeah, he got I believe he got a Grammy for that too. The engineers get Grammys as well. One engineers that worked on the album. So
Everybody
yeah,
get Grammys if you do something for the album, you get a Grammy, you get a plaque or something like that. You gotta just be there, bro.
all we gotta do is be there. Well, look, man, maybe I can be the
You
water
gotta
boy,
be
for the session and
Yeah,
get me
right.
one next time.
I'll be the guy that light the candle but set
there.
the
There you
mood.
go,
Yeah, can
man.
I get?
There you go. There you go. There you go.
So, hey, Space, let's talk about your hands and the no question situation, man. You ain't gonna get
Okay.
off that easy because you produced on that no question album. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about that.
Okay. Well, um, how that got started, Damon Core, you know, uh, may rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Damage
He,
Core. Peace.
yeah, Damon
For
Core.
sure, for sure.
He was same thing. Somebody, mutual friend, knew where I lived at, and he said, "You know Damon? He lived right around the corner from me." And he said he writes. He's a great writer. Now, mind you, Damon was about 17 at the time, at least 17. And I was probably, was that before I went out with Aaliyah? Yeah, I was probably in my late 20s when I met her. And so he convinced me to take him over to Johnny, who the studio was, and try to get him in on some recording. And so me and Johnny, once we saw, how talented he was, we were doing the tracks. We said, oh, that's all we need is somebody that can come and do lyrics and melodies. And that's how we joined forces. And then uh, Vance, I'm trying to remember how this happened because Tommy from No Question, we did a talent show somewhere, and and I knew that Vance, who had a group called Blackmail first, that Damon was in. This was before it became No Question.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
Vance had I met him when we did a talent show, and this group was there, and I saw no, okay, oh yeah, I saw Tommy at a talent show, and I was like, man, Vance is looking for a person to put in this group. Maybe this guy could do it, but I see that he's in another group. So how do you approach somebody that's in a group without sounding like you're trying to steal them out of the group?
Yeah.
So I said,
Yeah.
oh, what I came up with is I said, well, maybe I'll just ask him if he knows anybody who's interested in joining this particular group. And I said, and if he's interested in doing it, he'll step up and say, I want to do it. And that's exactly what happened.
Right.
So
Right.
that's how he ended up in. It was called Blackmail first, and then later on, I don't remember when they transitioned the name into No Question, but so we were
So
pretty
wait,
much
hold on a second. Wait, let me ask you a question. Wait, Stacey.
uh,
So Blackmail was No Question. They the same group?
pr- pretty much because
I never
Damon
knew that.
Miley was in the group. God rest his soul too.
Yeah.
Damon Miley, he was in the group
Yes.
when they were Blackmail. It was Damon Miley, Damon Core, and Mike Walker was in the group. I know he recorded with them. But Johnny and I were in the hands as they were changing members and just trying to cultivate the group and get everything together. We were the ones
Right.
that kind of were the overseers of all of that. And so when they got the deal, um, we had one song. I think we had one. We produced two songs. We had one song that was on that album, and the management didn't. They didn't think it was the best song when they were approached by with the movie called Brothers. Remember the movie called Brothers? I think it was
Yeah.
called, yeah, the
Yeah.
Brothers or something. Well, they I think that was
Yeah.
Warner Brothers as well. They were looking for a song for the soundtrack from No Question.
Mhm.
So the management skipped over our songs and was submitting whatever they thought was best. And the label wasn't too crazy about everything they submitted, and they went back and listened to the CD and picked our song that Johnny and I did with Damon. They picked our song for the soundtrack, and but by then it was too late to get it on the movie itself because they took so long getting it in there. But yeah,
Okay.
but we oversaw that project. Rick Williams, producing guitar, multi instrumentalist. He uh, he did most of the tracks and did some producing on it. And they had me go up to Sony and master the stuff. I don't know if it was Leon Gambling Hub, whoever was running that had me go up to New York with the management to make sure that everything was hitting right
Okay.
on the album.
Yeah, I had that album. They put
You
a
got
lot.
you guys did most of the production on the album? That was a dope album.
No, we no, we didn't, but we oversaw it and made sure that everything was like all of the instruments with levels and things were right. Pretty much mixed and mastered. And we produced two songs on it. We wrote one and produced two
Okay.
of them. And the
Hey,
one
what
that we
songs did y'all?
wrote ended up.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. Which ones did you? Which ones did you produce and which ones did you write?
Remember Us
Which
is
ones
the
did you
one that we
produce and which
did.
ones did you write?
Remember Us is the one that we wrote and produced
Okay.
along with Damon. And the other one was a
Okay.
remake of
Okay.
You Make Me Feel Brand New by the Stylistics. It was a remake of that. It was a remake of that.
I
But
got you. I
Remember
got you.
Us is the one that ended up on the album,
Yep. Damon
on the movie
Jercore,
soundtrack.
Johnny Kroom, and Stacey McGee.
Hmm.
Remember Us. Yep.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
just looked at
sir.
the credit.
Yeah, that was a dope album.
That album came with, it was a CD, a promotional box, a thing of Hennessy, a
Hmm.
condom, and some edible licorice underwear. That was a promotional pack that they sent out.
Oh, okay.
For
I didn't get that. I didn't get that one.
I ain't even see that one.
It was at the
Woo.
record store. That was a promo, and that's how the CD and the box everything came.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even.
Okay.
I never
Very
knew
interesting.
that. I went and bought that album
Mhm.
as soon as it dropped because I knew all my people was on that joint. So I didn't know that though. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
They were on I swear they did a Powerhouse when their first
They
time out.
did.
Yeah, they
And I was
did.
there.
They
They
did.
did.
Yeah,
They
They
I
did.
was there. I
Yeah.
was there. Yeah. When I used to go
Yeah.
outside. So what are you
Yeah,
working
man.
on now, Stacey?
But now I'm still playing. I've been working with Kathy Sledge
Okay.
from Sister Sledge. I've been working with her probably for the past 5 years. Um,
Mm,
so that's the OJs. I went out with them I did a 7 month run with them. Uh, and so that was the last time I've been out on the road with somebody who was like, gigging consistently.
Gotcha.
Uh,
right.
Kathy, I think she most of her gigs are out of the country whenever she goes, and
Okay.
so she hasn't been doing much lately. I think she's getting some recordings together. I've actually played on her a single that we recorded a single. I don't know where, I don't know if it's been released yet, but
Mhm.
we're doing some stuff in the studio with her. Um, other
Right.
than that,
Right now, I
I've
mean,
been
like presently.
yeah. I'll send you a link to it.
The Promise Me
Um,
song?
Okay.
That was
is that
fire.
it? Yeah. Is that it?
Uh
I'm not good with
yeah,
the lyrics.
yeah, Promise Me.
Okay, yeah. So I'm on that. I'm playing on that single.
Bass guitar, Stacey McGee. Yep.
Um, yeah, and back to Jaheim's when we talking about studio. I think
Hmm.
the last CD he released. Um, he may have had 13 songs on that. I think I played on 12 of those.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's dope.
So yeah. So he showed me a lot of love on that. Um, yeah, and other than that, so yeah, so I'm still playing. I'm doing weddings and different things like that. But also, I've been doing sound lately. I invested in some sound equipment and
Okay.
ended up started getting calls from guys who do it full time. Have been calling
Hmm.
me in to cover gigs for them, and I
Okay.
and I enjoy that. I actually enjoy that almost as much as I enjoy playing.
Really?
Got you.
That's what's up.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what's
yeah.
that's
So
good. Shit.
that's been going pretty well. That's been keeping me busy in between.
Beautiful.
Okay. Okay. And
Okay.
you can't forget to say that you do the open mics and down through the city, and you've been doing this
Oh
for
yeah, oh
years with
yeah.
the open mic. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like our that's keeping us. You and Cassie and Raina and the rest of the squad are really keeping the city alive as far as the open mic scene go, man. If it
Hmm.
wasn't for y'all, I don't know what the city would be as far as entertainment. And you know what I'm saying? Like I appreciate what y'all do. I appreciate what y'all been doing for years. I appreciate it. I really do. I
Oh yeah,
definitely
yeah,
appreciate
man.
it.
Well, it has
Yeah.
definitely helped. It's a place where you can come and you can experiment. Like I may try things on my instrument there before I try them out on the road because that's the place to try them
Okay.
out to see what's going to work and what's whether you're playing too much, what works and
Mhm.
what doesn't work,
Right.
and that really
Right.
helped me to listen to the vocalist. it develops you because you have people that great singers that come in. You may have some that are not so
Mhm.
great, but the ones that are not so
Mhm.
great, you have to know how to follow them as well. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so it's really helped me over the
Mhm.
years to know because it's music is just for me it's just as much about listening as it is playing. You got to do
Mhm.
just as much listening as you do playing. When you're up
Right.
there. So yeah, so
Right.
I will always when I talk to Darren, it's like, yeah, man, those open mics because now we can pretty much go and back up anybody.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And follow, you just follow, you, whoever's in front of you, that's the focus, you know.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, sir. What you got, Harris? Any more
No, I
questions?
got nothing. You got it. I'm looking at the time too,
Well,
man. You got it.
How am I doing so far?
Now you're doing fantastic.
Hey man,
Oh, well,
you're
thank
doing excellent, man. You're doing excellent, man. Like I
thank you.
say, I
Thank you.
appreciate you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come down here and kick it with us, man. Like when I asked him
No problem.
to do this last week, he was like, "Yeah, no problem, man." I know Stacey, like I said, he don't do press. You know what I'm saying, like when he said he was
Yeah,
gonna do it, I was like, "Yo, yeah, we definitely need you on the show for real." So I appreciate you for coming out. I appreciate you for
no
staying on
problem.
here kicking it with us, man. And
Hey, look, man,
yeah, spread the
y'all broke
word.
the ice. I'm ready for prime time now. I'm ready for the big interview now. Come on.
Just make sure you tell them when you got warmed up at on Disciples of the Boom Band podcast, my
Hey,
man. You know
hey,
what I'm
look,
saying?
hey, I'm ready. I'll
You
make
ready
sure I let
now?
them know. And yeah, and I
I
appreciate
appreciate
y'all
it.
for having me, man. Appreciate you.
Hey man, no problem. No worries. Anytime, baby. Go ahead, Harris. Hit that music, man. We about to be out. Hey yo, I'm your man. Tuesday Disciples of the Boom Bap podcast. I want to thank our very special guest, Stacey Mcgee, for coming through and doing his thing with us, giving us his knowledge, giving us his entertainment experience, giving us his experiences in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, come back and review this interview and tell us what y'all think about it. We get at y'all next week, same time, same station, and we out this joint. One.
All right. All right.